Danny Flex from SecondsOut here with a temporarily blinded Matchroom, hopefully temporarily, Matchroom CEO Frank Smith. Frank, we're here, or we've just finished the press conference for Terence Crawford against Amir Khan. It's known, we spoke to Eddie yesterday, he was saying, you know, he didn't really want Amir to take this fight. He was hoping to safeguard the Brook fight, which will lessen in value now if Amir loses to Terence Crawford. What kind of position does that put you in at the press conference? Because if Eddie's in America, you're up on the top table knowing that it's a fight your boss didn't necessarily want to make.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think everyone wanted to see the Khan-Brook fight. You know, I don't think there's any hiding from that. But then you can't argue with the scale of this fight that's now taking place. You know, Khan is not shying away from big fights. He's going in there with pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world, in Terence Crawford. So, you know, yes, there is disappointment that the Brook fight wasn't made, but we now have to get on with this. We now have to deliver a new fight for Kell Brook. And at the end of the day, as I've said so many times today, the two fighters are the ones getting in the ring. So if Kell Brook doesn't want to fight him, then Kell Brook, but you know, in this case, Kell did. Amir had another opportunity. Amir is the one who's got to get in the ring on April 20th, and that's the decision he wanted to make. So it comes to a point where there's only so much. We have to put opportunities to clients, and if they want to look at, you know, if there's other opportunities that appeal to them, you know, they're the ones who are getting in there having a fight. So.
Break it down for us for people that don't know the inner workings of the business, and to an extent I include myself in that, of course. You're co-promoting this, Matchroom are co-promoting this with Top Rank out in the US and Amir Khan Promotions. Where does their role kind of extend and where does yours begin? What things are you guys responsible for?
So Top Rank will be the lead promoter, just as we would in a number of fights where we've had fighters fight on our cards. You know, we will assist in any way we can, but Top Rank will be the lead promoter for the show in the US. They put on the press conference today, and we're working closely with them on the event. And you know, but our job here is we're Amir Khan's promoters, so hence why it's a co-promotion. But most of the work will be done by Top Rank.
And of course, distributing the UK TV rights, which is something Eddie mentioned yesterday. Is there any more news on that?
Not just yet. I think in the next week or by the end of next week, you'll see details on that. There's a lot of things going on there that will sort of change the path of what's happening. So you'll see news on that in the next week or so.
We interviewed Bob Arum about 10-15 minutes ago. He's got real high hopes for this as a commercial attraction in the US, as you would expect, as the lead promoter over there. He's talking about it doing maybe 500,000 pay-per-view buys, which seems ambitious, but I'm not someone to tell a Hall of Fame promoter how to do his job. Yeah. Do you think it's viable?
I'm not going to either.
No, but do you think it's viable as a pay-per-view attraction over here, or do you think it has to be on just a normal subscription channel or free TV or whatever?
I think, again, there's a lot of things that make a difference there. If Joshua fights April 13th at Wembley, you know, there's a lot of pay-per-view fights going on. So there's too much to really give you an answer and say, yeah, you know, it's a massive fight. Don't get me wrong, it's a huge fight. But the difference is, you know, if this was in the UK, it would be a pay-per-view fight. But it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So it depends on what else is going on, what are other platforms doing, what other pay-per-view fights are on. So I think they're where the complexities lie into why there's no decision just yet.
And you said you've now, as Matchroom, have now got to make another fight for Kell Brook because the Khan fight's not there. Eddie was saying yesterday you've spoken to Jeff Horn's team, but no offer's been made yet. Is there any preference from Kell? I'm assuming he's devastated that the Khan fight's fallen through once again. But is there any preference from Kell that you know of who he wants to fight next, or what title, or what weight, or anything? No,
I think Kell's open. He's open for big fights. He's another person. He's never shied away from big fights. You know, he took on Gennady Golovkin. He took on Errol Spence, who has now gone on to become another one of the best pound-for-pound fighters. So Kell is not shy from taking big fights. Now it's our job to go and put together some options for him, and we'll see where that ends up. Whether it's in the UK, US, we have the ability now to take fighters to the US as well, and all broadcast on Sky Sports. So you've got the best of both worlds. You know, we've got the investment from DAZN in the US, which allows us to make big fights in the US. So there's a lot of opportunities for him there, and that's what we've got to go away and work on now.
And just a question specifically for you. People don't see your work. You work a lot hard. You work hard under the radar. Getting all my metaphors mixed up here. What are your kind of day-to-day duties in your role as CEO compared to, say, what Eddie does in his role?
So Eddie, as you all know, is very much more public-facing. He does a lot more of this stuff than myself. Does a lot of the press conferences. I just like to, he says it himself, we just like wheel him out. You know, wheel him out for press conferences, wheel him out for me. Everyone loves meeting him because he's a huge name within the boxing business. So, but my job is more overseeing our business structure, our plans moving forward. You know, we've got a team of over 30 people now. hiring a load more people, trying to manage everyone's roles, manage day-to-day operations of our business in the UK, US, Italy, and the new markets we're going into as well. So, there's a lot going on. It's exciting times. I work a lot more on the legal, financial side of the business as well. So, it's great times to be involved in the sport of boxing.
What about kind of how you and Eddie work together? It's an interesting kind of personality match. I mean, I don't know either of you very well, but it seems like you're kind of the more calm, numbers-focused, kind of strategy-driven, whereas he's more kind of dynamic, maybe, but also kind of maybe erratic at times. He's more media-facing, as you said, and kind of he's more the bigger picture. Is that fair or not?
Yeah, he looks at, he deals very closely with our fighters as well. We all have individual relationships with certain fighters who we work with closer than others, but I get on with running sort of the business side of things. He works on plans for fight. He loves boxing, loves boxing, knows everything about boxing and the fight sport. He just that's what he's grown up in. I've quite openly said in the past, boxing for me, I'm not an expert. I don't know if his jab's great or his right hand. That's why they got trainers. I work on the business side and what we're trying to do and develop our business, our plans, our team of people, constantly evaluate what we're doing. That's what I've spent a lot more time on now, looking at our business and spending time actually saying, I don't like this, we don't like this, we're not doing this right, we're not doing this right. One thing about us, we will never be complacent. Especially, in the UK, people think, are they going to take their art? We will never be complacent with our business. So that's my job now, is to look at it and say, where can we improve? Constantly develop, constantly reevaluate what we're doing, because there's a lot of competition in the UK market now. But I don't believe anyone is as good at what we do as us. And you need that confidence to be able to do what we do.
And on that subject, I've seen you guys advertising for a couple of positions recently as well. Is that a sign that you're expanding your UK operations?
Yeah. Look, we've brought in 2 people in the past 6 months. We're bringing in another 4 people in the next month to 2 months. We see our business is heavily built on growing and promoting fighters. That is our business. So that's where we're focusing very heavily on our media, marketing, social media, digital media, everything like that. We're focusing very hard on that. Going to make a large investment of funds into that. Content plans in 2019. You're going to see us put together a lot more moving forward. So, we're not just sitting there going, yeah, you've got a new deal in the US, so we're going to focus on that. We are 24/7, every time zone. We never rest, and we love it. So it's easy. If you love what you're doing, it's very easy. No. So for us, we've got a period of time. We're going to do 50 to 60 shows this year around the world. Yeah, that all. But it's, we learn every week. So we go to New York this week, we look at things, we go, I quite like that, but that wasn't very good. We're not too big to say everything we do is perfect. We are constantly developing our product, constantly developing what we do, and we will never stop.
Brilliant. Frank Smith, really appreciate your time.
Cheers, mate.